I know that most of us have already decided where we stand on this election and who we're voting for and why we're voting for them. Um, I don't know. I just want to encourage people to really think through the different. If you haven't already voted, I just encourage you to really process and think through um, what some of these policies are that the politicians are standing on. Um, I have friends on both sides of the fence here, and I love both groups of friends equally. Uh, Whatever you choose to vote on election day or have already chosen to vote, it's not going to affect the fact that I love you, I care about you. But somebody sent something my way the other day regarding the election, and it really bothered me. I don't get into politics too much. I do research what's on the agenda and what I'm voting on. I do spend a lot of time thinking about what the policies are that I'm standing behind and what policies I don't want to see passed. This policy really kind of set me sideways because it's being presented as an incentive for people wishing to start a small business to start a small business. I do believe the video that I saw, it said I'm going to set a goal of 25 million new small businesses, and this is how we're going to do it. They stated that the average small business takes $40,000 to start, and most Americans don't have $40,000 to start the small business. Then they go on to state that what they're going to do to solve this problem is give you a $50,000 tax deduction. Well, that's like giving you a coupon to go shopping. It doesn't work. Like if I don't have $40,000 to start a business, getting a tax deduction on my small business for $50,000 doesn't give me the $40,000 I need to start the business. When it got sent to me to look at, the sales pitch comes across so fast that if you're not paying attention, you miss it. And I think there's a lot of things that are missed in the fine print or what the long-term ramifications of things are. One nice thing is we do have AI now, which I've found I need to tell it before I do any research or before I ask it for data, that I tell it to not factor in political viewpoints, just raw data. When it comes to some of these economic policies that are trying to get passed, I think you can really find out the reality behind one, if they're going to pass, are they constitutional, and what is the actual impact on our economy from it. I don't think a $50,000 tax deduction for small businesses will put $40,000 into a person's hands to start a business. So that's that. So from there, as I was looking at this policy, this $100 million net wealth unrealized capital gains tax popped up. The first thing I thought is, how can you tax unrealized capital gains, because you haven't really made any money yet. So initially I was like, this does not seem constitutional, but basically what they're saying is that if my net wealth was over $100 million and I had $100 million in Amazon stock and it appreciated by $50 million over the course of the next year, I would pay tax on what that stock has appreciated. So that $50 million, I would have to pay tax on it, even though to money I haven't cashed in the stocks. I don't have that money to pay the taxes even. So I don't see how that's constitutional. And I don't have a ton of money. I am not even. I am middle class America, probably lower middle class America, and I think initially when I look at it, it's like, oh, that's great. Let's tax the wealthy. I look at who that impacts, and it you know, the question is like, who do you trust more to drive the economy for growth? The U.S. government or companies like Tesla and Google and Amazon, right? Because those are the companies that are going to get hit hardest by this tax. I get it, man. Those guys have tons of money, and you think, oh, they got tons of money. Let's just take it out of their pocket. Ultimately, it could be really bad for our stock market. And if you have like a 401k or any savings in the stock market, this law could ultimately affect that because it's affecting the companies that you have invested in, right? But what happens if your 401k drops by 25%? What if your 401k drops by 40%? I don't know. I don't know what your 401k looks like. I don't know what your retirement plan looks like, but I think that those are realistic implications to this law. We're imposing a massive tax on the companies and the people that actually drive our economy. I really did not want to get political and post political things, but I think if we're voting and we're voting on these two items, I want it just to be as matter of fact as possible. And, there's a lot of other policies and things that go into play to what you vote on. I just, encourage everyone to get out and vote. If you have an opinion about anything that's going on in the world today, in the United States, which we all do, then, exercise your right to vote. Get out there, do it, whether it's Harris or Trump, whatever. Probably one of the things that I think bothers me the most is how divided we are as a people and how brutal each side is to each other. Just watching some of the harsh things that people say to each other because they have differing political opinions is it's disturbing, man. I mean, I think one of the strengths of America is that we were a country of different races, nationalities, beliefs, and we all came together to support one common goal of having a free nation. And we've deviated so far from that. And that's a whole nother discussion. But anyways, if this is helpful, I hope it helps someone. I'm sure I'm going to get an onslaught of, hate mail. But I just encourage you, research some of these things that sound really great, because underneath the surface of it, they might not be really great policies to put into motion.